Hey guys, it's Jeff here, and today we have another installment in my spinning Dogbane experiments. Before you, I don't know how many of you will recognize this, but this is called a Charkha. This specific one is a 3D print that Good and Basic, a channel that I've talked about often in my Dogbane experiences and experiments, Good and Basic had talked about spinning Dogbane, so when I saw that they had the files for 3D printing a Charkha, I knew I had to try it with the Dogbane. That said, it is available via their Etsy. Let's make sure I link that down in the description. But this one I actually had printed for me by a buddy with a printer. So a Charkha is traditionally used with cotton. It is something that is shorter staple lengths, and so you want a high twist. This was popularized by Gandhi spinning cotton for weaving at home. So one of the things that Good and Basic talked about was that you can actually spin from cotton balls. And so this right here was an experiment I did to try to get a hang of this using cotton balls. And as you can see, it's not half bad once you start learning how to draft with it. That said, I'm going to be completely honest, before I did the cotton balls, this was actually my first little skein of Dogbane. And as you can see in the background here, I am using essentially just rolags. Traditionally, cotton is spun from something called a puni, which near as I can tell is very similar to a rolag, although possibly just compressed a little bit more. My technique that I've been using for this, and I'm also going to mention, in Good and Basic, they talk about using rubber bands for these belts. For me, those kept breaking, so I've actually used some crochet thread. It's doubled up, and then I waxed it to get the grip that I needed. So when it comes to using this, the technique that I've been using is essentially a park and draft. I do not have my fiber preparation quite as nice as it would need to be for essentially this is done when you see the people from India that are doing this that really know what they're doing. It's done with a long draw on the left hand while the right hand is working the spinning. But again, I don't have my material prepared that well yet, and I'm still learning the skills myself. So the way that I do this is, if I have everything set up right, there we go, now it's working, is I put some spin in, and essentially I am parking and drafting, and this is really hard to do around the camera tripod, but parking and drafting, so get a bunch of spin in it. And again, working around the camera, I usually have one foot or hand on this so it's not moving around while I'm spinning, but get some spin in there and then stretch it out and then load it back up. This has been a really great way to get some pretty fine thread. Now this is not plied, and I usually ply most of my yarn, but this actually makes me wonder about doing some small home weaving, maybe like a backstrap loom to do like a hat band or maybe a bracelet or something. But I am definitely enjoying the Charkha with the Dogbane. Good and Basic, I hope you're hearing this, since I know once upon a time you talked about weaving with Dogbane. This works pretty well. So if you have a Charkha and you want to play with carding some Dogbane, I would highly encourage it. If you have any experience with this, let me know in the comments down below. If you haven't seen the others, make sure to check out my Spinning with Dogbane playlist. If you have any questions, let me know. And guys, I will talk to you all later.